number 24. The entirety of the past, extending from the present back to the beginning of creation, consists of occurrences. Every day, year and century that came into being is like a line, a page of a book, written by the pen of destiny. The hand of Allah's power has inscribed His miraculous signs there with the utmost wisdom and order. Similarly, time from the present until resurrection, paradise and eternity, consists entirely of contingencies. The past consists of occurrences, the future of contingencies. Now, if these two chains of time be compared with each other, it will be seen to be true of a certainty that the being that created yesterday and brought into being the creatures peculiar to it is capable too of creating tomorrow together with its creatures. Again, there is no doubt that the beings and wonders of past time, that wondrous display, are the miraculous works of a powerful and glorious one. They bear decisive witness that the powerful one is capable of creating all of the future and its contingencies, and manifesting all of its wonders. The one who creates an apple must of certainty be able to create all of the apples in the world, and to bring the vast spring into being. Conversely, the one who cannot create a spring cannot create a single apple either, for the apple is made at the same workbench. But the one who makes an apple can make the spring. Each apple is an example in miniature of a tree, even of a garden or cosmos. The apple seed that carries within itself the life story of the huge tree is, from the point of view of artistry, such a miracle that the one who creates it thus is incapable of nothing. So too, the one that creates today is also able to create the day of resurrection. And it is only the one capable of creating the spring that is able to create resurrection. The one who affixes all the worlds of past time to the ribbon of time and displays them there in utmost wisdom and order is without doubt capable of attaching other beings to the ribbon of the future and displaying them there. In several of the words, particularly the 22nd word, we proved with utter certainty that the one who cannot create everything cannot create anything, and the one who can fashion one thing can fashion everything. Also, if the creation of everything is entrusted to a single being, the creation of all things becomes as easy as the creation of a single thing. Thus facility arises. If, on the contrary, it is entrusted to numerous causes and ascribed to multiplicity, the creation of a single thing becomes as difficult as the creation of everything, and such difficulty arises as borders on impossibility. Since man is not called to account and judged in fitting fashion while in this world, it follows that he must proceed to a supreme tribunal and final felicity. 8th truth. The gate of promise and threat, the manifestation of the names of beautiful and glorious. Is it at all possible that the maker of this world, the possessor of absolute knowledge and absolute power, should not fulfill the oft-repeated promise and threat that has been proclaimed unanimously by all the prophets and been witnessed in unison by all the veracious and the saints, and thus display weakness and ignorance? Allah forbid. All that is implied by his promise and threat is not at all difficult for his power to fulfill. It is as easy for him as bringing back next spring the countless beings of last spring, in part identically, in part insimilarly. Footnote 25 and 6. Like trees and the roots of grasses, and like leaves and fruits. It is our need, the need of everything, his own need, and the need of his dominical sovereignty, that he should fulfill his promise. For him to break his promise would be contrary to the dignity of his power, and it would contradict the comprehensiveness of his knowledge. For the breaking of a promise can arise only from ignorance or impotence. O denier, do you know how foolish a crime you are committing with your unbelief and denial? Paying heed to your own lying fancy, your delirious intellect, your deceptive soul, you reject as a liar one who in no way can be compelled to breaking of his promise, whose glory and stature can in no way admit breaking of his word, and whose truthfulness and veracity are attested by all the visible matters and objects. Despite your infinite pettiness, you are committing a crime of infinitely great proportions. Without doubt, you deserve great and eternal punishment. According to certain narrations, the fact that the teeth of some of the people of hell will be as big as a mountain will serve as an indication of the magnitude of their crime. O denier, you are like a traveller who closes his eyes to the sunlight and looks instead at the fantasy in his own mind. His imagination wishes to illumine that awesome path in front of him with the light proceeding from his mind's lamp, that in reality is no stronger than a glowworm. Whatever has been promised by Allah Almighty, whose veracious words are these beings we see, and whose truthful, eloquent signs are the processes of nature, He will of a surety fulfill. He will establish a supreme tribunal and bestow an ultimate bliss.
سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم.
Glory be unto you. We have no knowledge save that which you have taught us. Indeed, you are all-knowing, all-wise.